Hello YouTube, I'm Neil. This evening I'm going to show you my trolley I built for my feel-free kayak. I've been online seeing several different variations and I liked quite a bit of them. So I took some measurements and I looked at the material I had. I wanted to build one very cheap. Most of these things, if you order them, are anywhere from $100 to $200. So I had parts or pieces of items laying around that I knew I could use. And one thing in particular I had was an old walker my girlfriend gave me. Of course, she didn't need it. It was her grandmother's, her late grandmother's, I think. So anyway, since I wasn't going to use it, I cut it up into long sections of tubing. And this is real good solid grade aluminum, the best I can tell. And so the basic parts is the old walker, which I already had, no cost, some eye bolts. The axle is a threaded 5/8 inch rod. PVC pipe, I had some laying around, and what else? Oh, the tires and the nuts to go on the axle to hold the tires on and to hold the axle in place. The tires I got from Harbor Freight. I think they were on sale for $4.99. They are what I consider very heavy. They have a set for about $10 a piece, and they didn't have any in stock, but they were like a fraction of the weight. I'm not sure, maybe half the weight, but I think the tubes were rubber, but the inserts were plastic, so it would overall make them a lot lighter. I wanted those, but I don't think I want to pay $10 per tire when I've only got about $20, $25 at the most in this entire trolley. So kind of walk you through the build-up. Since I didn't film it, it's one of these things that once I got into it, I couldn't stop. The next thing you know, I had it built. So like I said, the axle is a 5/8 inch threaded rod. The nuts to go, the 5/8 inch nuts to go on it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 total. The tires, the tubing I already had, and then the PVC pipe. And I could take these off in the pool noodle. I could take these pool noodles off and show you, but this is one entire length of aluminum tubing, and it's just pushed through the PVC pipe. Now this tubing didn't fit snug into the pipe, but it was so big that it wouldn't go all the way through, so I had to take a Dremel tool, or I think I used like a chisel, and reamed out the intersection of these T's, because if you've ever used these in making water pipe repair, when you put the pipe in, it only goes in so far. Well, that little ridge inside had to come out in order to get this pipe all the way through, or this tubing all the way through. Then I bolted everything down using 632 or 832, I'm not sure, socket head bolts. Everywhere there was a connection, instead of gluing it, I just decided to use bolts and bolt it all down. If I ever had to take it apart or replace a part, it would be easy to do. Or if I had to make something a little bit wider, I could also do that. And then this particular section here is used for a push pole. Excuse me while I grab this. For example, here's just a piece of small PVC pipe, and this is used to put it in place. What I'll do, I'll get the, whenever I'm unloading my kayak from the back of my truck, I'll let the wheel or the tail end section sit on the rear of the truck, and while it's up in the air, I will position this trolley underneath to line up with the twin hulls. They have a small indentation under the bolt, and I put this somewhere underneath the seat. That way it gives me better leverage. So once I get it in position, I just take this out. Now what I'm looking for in the future is I may destroy an old broom or something and cut the insert out where a broom handle would screw into this, that type of thread. because I have a stakeout pole, and you can take the tip off the stakeout pole and it will thread into like a paintbrush or a roller or something like that. So I'm looking for an insert that I can remove from an old broom or something and glue it in place, but that way I could screw my stakeout pole and use it to position the trolley under the kayak, unscrew it, and then put it on my boat, because it goes with me every time I take out my kayak anyway, or at least that's what it's intended to do. So one thing too, whenever I built this thing, now this is a solid piece, just a solid rod all the way through, and what I did, I jammed some nuts into the PVC, and I'll show you some pictures of that. Hopefully they'll be clear enough detail. Got one nut jammed in both sides of these T's. Then I have another nut to lock it in place and to kind of give you a little extension out from the axle so this doesn't rub. And then of course I have two nuts on the outside. One to make the proper width so your wheel will spin, and another one to lock that one in place so they don't fall off while you're transporting your kayak. The same thing on both wheels. Now I'll show you videos of all that. So after I got the nuts inserted and jammed into the PVC T's, I threaded the long piece of rod through the first one, and then threaded it all the way through the second one until I got even portions of the threaded rod on both sides of the trolley, and then I placed the wheels in. Then I placed the wheels on and tightened up the nuts. And that's basically it. Then I have some eye bolts, and what these are for, I made some. I had some webbing from some of these. I forget what you call them. A harness. Had some harnesses. It had some of this webbing on them. Had a nice little clip. So what I did, made up a webbing or a harness that will hold my kayak to the trolley while I'm transporting it. It won't slide off, or it won't bounce off if I go over rough terrain. And that's what I like about these tires as opposed to lawnmower wheels. This goes down a ramp excellent, as most any wheel would. But if you're going over some terrain that's uneven or a little bit rocky, this is more stable, and it allows you to push your kayak through terrain that you might not otherwise could. So anyway, once I get this position, I lower the kayak from the truck onto the trolley, and I come around here, throw this across the boat, and lock it down. Lock it down, and then I can then I can pull on this to tighten it up as I need to once the kayak is in position. And that's basically it. Like I might have said that, as I might have told you, I looked through all kinds of plans and YouTube videos and got the idea from there. You can take this, and one other thing before I explain, I'll explain one other thing. These tubes here go all the way from the T down all the way to the bottom. I rounded the tube off to where it would fit into the bottom, or into this rounded portion of the T, and then I drilled a hole, a 5/8 inch hole in both of these uprights. That way the axle is actually going through metal pipes to give it more support when a kayak is on. And then of course this is metal through here, and I got metal to metal, and I bolted everything down using 632 or 832 socket head bolts. That way I can take it apart if I had to. I don't think I glued anything in place, so I can take it apart if I need to replace it, or if I need to make it wider, for example. So that's it in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something, and get out there and give it a try. No need in spending $100 or $200 on something that you might have items laying around your shop or your garage that you could use. As I said, this was from an old walker, and then some PVC pipe, and therefore we have a trolley for about 25 bucks. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the water. Good day.